Yo Yo what's good สบายดีคนลาว What up หำจังได้หำน้อย You know what I'm saying It's logo on the mic Shout to Alex ธนศักดา G Bloods Talking Loud Radio You know what I'm saying What up AK Let's go Yeah Talking Loud Worldwide เป็นรายการ Radio มีแต่สาระหน้าหูที่จะเอามาโชว์ให้พวกท่านได้หูให้พวกท่านได้เห็นอันใดที่คักคนลาวก็เฮ็ดเป็น
ส่งเสียงห้องโฆษณาไปจากเมืองลาวให้พี่น้องครับผู้ที่อยู่เมืองหนาวบอกว่าจะอยู่บอนใดอย่าลืมความเป็นลาวตำบักหุ่งลาบก้อยข้าวเหนียวเหล้าขาว
Yeah Make sure y'all tuning in y'all you know what I'm saying G Bloods in the house What up Alex Peace
สวัสดีครับแม่พี่น้องกับใจละลายเด้อฟังโฆษณานี่ครับ Lao'd Radio What do you guys think about that intro song man Pretty cool
Where are those guys from, man?
You know what they're actually from Laos man they're a crew called G Bloods that I kind of stumbled across them online and I was like really impressed with their music considering you know a lot of Laos rappers these days in the States it kind of rap about the same thing and it's not as articulate for my liking which is fine I mean I'm not hating on it but when I stumbled across these guys I was like holy shit like these guys have some really good talent
So these guys were born and they actually reside in Laos. They never came to the States.
They never came to the States.
Wow, okay.
They live in Laos and they're young too. Dude's like only 21. And he's still calling I, you know, and he helps me out a lot. So the idea of like, dude, rather rap for the intro, man. I'd love to have you guys.
Cause it's still weird, man. Cause I still think of Laos as like this third world, like still underdeveloped. Like they still, you know.
Right.
I guess if I went back there, I probably wouldn't even recognize them. You know.
Well, that kind of shocked the fuck out of me because I was like. You know, I was, you know, picturing Laos as, you know, Banok and fishing and stuff, but he was like, no, it's pretty modern these days. Like, he was at a coffee shop when he recorded this with his buddy. Like, there's coffee shops and
I bet it's probably more modern than Burlington.
It probably is. I mean, they got a damn cup. Burlington's pretty bad. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it, man. We got our special guest for episode 3 is a really close friend of mine and kind of family member, Pinong, is no other than the legendary Ko Chandetka. Ko, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me here.
Hey, dude, it's so good to have you here, man. It's been, what, 4 or 5 years since I've seen you last?
And I know, well, just met your son for the first time today, and he's 3, so we're, probably 4 or 5 years, because I've been living up north, probably, 5 years.
You're living up north now?
North of Burlington. In Milwaukee.
So for everyone...
Milwaukee.
So for everyone listening out there, me and Ko used to be roommates a long time ago. He came up here from Elgin. Well, first of all, Ko, introduce yourself. For the listeners out there that don't know who Ko is, give us a brief bio on yourself, Ko.
Ooh, where do you want me to start?
From your bodybuilding. Let's start with your bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding. I got into bodybuilding when I was 19 years old. You know, I'm the typical Asian kid, small, scrawny, skinny. I also came over in 1975, so, gosh, my family was probably one of the first few families to reside here in the States. We actually lived in Western Ohio for about a year before we resided in Chicago. You know, I was 4 years old in 75, so I had no understanding of where we were. You know, people were different. People were different. Climate was different.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from the kids. Juan, can you go downstairs and have Anna take him in the room?
Yeah, sure.
Okay? Keep on, Go. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, just feeling like an outsider. And we were, and unfortunately we were treated like outsiders, not to bring up the word racism or anything, but it was very um, it was around then. I mean, people talk about like it's around today, man. They don't realize how it was 30 years ago because at least today there's an understanding of it. You know, people can talk about it. People stand up to it. Back then, that's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It was harsh. So growing up being small, skinny, number one, just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be left alone. I didn't want to go to school, get my ass kicked every day, or be called names, or stuff like that. I just wanted to be left alone. So as I got older, working out was I saw the magazines. Man, if I look like these guys, maybe these people will leave me alone.
Cole, now where did your sponsors place your family when you first came over here? Was it Elgin? Was it Ohio? I believe it was Ohio. Right?
Western Ohio, Lima, Ohio.
And then you guys made the trek to Elgin?
And then we lived there for about a year. My dad got a good job, and we moved to Elgin, Illinois, which after that, a lot of Laotians.
You guys were like one of the first families in Elgin, right?
Yeah,
right? Considering Elgin's, for everyone that's listening in and don't know much about the Midwest and where a lot of first generation Punjab were located, Elgin.
Yeah, about 30 miles northwest of Chicago.
Being one of the bigger, I guess you could say this called the city now, that had a big Laotian community.
Yeah.
So Elgin was kind of like the Wausau and Milwaukee of Wisconsin. So how was it growing up in Elgin, man? Since you guys were the first families out there, you were telling me earlier when we were talking about how you felt like you never really fit in.
It was a culture shock, man. It was culture shock in Elgin, and again, being the only, there might have been another one or two other Laotian families in, so, like you say, when you move to a new country, there's that saying, safety in numbers. Well, there are no numbers.
Yeah.
So there is no safety. I mean, again, so I'm off on my own. I was 4 years old. I mean, I had my family and stuff, but even then, they were also affected too by the difference, by the culture shock. And again, I hate to bring up the word racism, but we got called everything. We got vandalized. People. God, I remember people calling us names, spitting at us, and looking at us like we weren't human. And as a 4-year-old kid, I don't understand it.
Right.
I mean, I didn't understand I don't know if you want to call it hate, the ignorance, the racism, but why are these people making fun of me? Why are these people? And to ask my parents, they couldn't give me an answer because they were experiencing it for the first time too. So they didn't have a solution. The typical Laotian comment. Just deal with. We just gotta take it. This is not our home. Hearing it from my mom, this is not our home. So there, it wasn't like. So even she acknowledged, we don't belong here. So to hear it from outsiders, whether white or Hispanic or black, saying we don't belong here, but to also hear my mom say, this is not our home. Well, then where is home? So again, at 4 or 5 years old, kind of experiencing this, then growing up, being a skinny kid through school, looking different. Yeah, working out. At first, it wasn't really working out, but my fascination with comic books.
Yeah, you were really big into He-Man.
He-Man, Superman, Captain America.
Sorry, guys, we forgot to introduce our co-host. Sam's the voice of reason. But yeah, Sam. I guess Sam was in the comics that kind of influenced you growing up too. And
yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to touch base on something too. Is where a lot of people, they categorize us under immigrants, really when we're refugees. Whereas I kind of want to let people know, in my opinion, that there's a huge difference between those two dynamics. I mean, immigrants, the majority of them can really plan to come here, whereas refugees were war babies, were war kids that had to leave we had to flee our country without any plan at all. So, the adjustment and the struggle was a little different. Could you want to touch more on that, Sam, in regards to the COVID situation?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, I guess, quickly assimilate, into this culture that we're thrown into, right? And like you said, you look around and, Alex and I grew up in, similar, Midwestern style, small towns and stuff like that. And you look around and, you try to look for role models, but, you wind up not, being able to relate to people and, looking within your family or siblings or other people, other Lao family cultures, to relate to each other.
Yeah. Well, Ko, the conversation we were having earlier about you felt like you never fit in with you being the youngest, you being a refugee kid. There was a lot of shit you went through, or situations that you were in that were kind of like the stepchild.
The redheaded
The redheaded
stepchild, or black sheep,
Yeah.
the black sheep of the family.
You want to elaborate more on that, like in every situation that we were talking about earlier?
Gosh, whether it be race, whether it be Asian, or I didn't fit in with the white kids, and then when I started finally fitting with the white kids, 1979 comes. I remember I came here in 1975. 1979 is when a huge wave of Laotians came over. At that time, I had a 4-year head start. So now, hey friends, I'm like, I don't know, I'm 8 years old. Hey friends, and like these, and all of a sudden I'm getting Laotian kids looking back at me and saying, man, you don't, you look like us, but you don't talk like us, you don't act like us, and you're a sellout. I don't know if they call it a sellout, but I think that's what they're implying. You're at us. I don't know what you mean, because and I never had an accent. I was from a very young age. Like I learned English right off the bat. So when I started talking, learned a little bit of Laos. When I 4 years old, started jumping in learning English. Um, you know, People coming over who are my age in 79, 80, they had an accent. They had broken English. I never had that. So again, the discrepancy, man. I had to ask them, what am I? Who am I? Am I, am I Asian? Am I Laotian? Am I white? And I'm the youngest of 7 children. All my brothers and sisters, it's like the first 6, they were all kind of planned. They're all kind of grouped together. And then years later, boom, here comes me, and like I was an accident, I didn't really fit in with my brothers and sisters being the youngest, because when they got to America, a lot of them went to work, had to work and help out the family. I was stuck at home with my mom watching TV, and then that was my outlet. You're going to going back to the cartoons and superheroes and all that. Um, I became an uncle at a very young age. I think I was 8 years old and I became an uncle. So here I am having the responsibility here. I'm changing diapers. I'm big brother, but I never had a little brother of my own. So I don't know. To me, in my bodybuilding career, I was an Asian kid working out. Asians weren't supposed to be bodybuilders. It was rare. It was rare to see that back at that time, back in the late 80s, early 90s, when I started. So I was one of the few. I stood out when people saw me. This guy, see this kid? He's an Asian kid, he's from Laos. So that helped me get the recognition, because again, at that time, now it's more prominent. Now it's more, you got everybody. Everybody works out now. Everybody's a bodybuilder. Back in that time, it was pretty much dominated, by white and black, and you never saw an Asian kid with any type of muscularity. We were skinny. We did kung fu, ping pong. That's a.
So cool. But in school, were you ever, physically bullied, or did you get into scraps with people, or?
I was physically bullied, man, thrown into a garbage can. To where I remember one time, like 5 kids came at me, like 4 kids, and each of them got like a limb. And they got like my arm. I was like all strung out, and they threw me in the garbage can, and my ass went in the garbage can, and I was like stuck there. I couldn't get out, man. So I had to so they laughed, and now here I am stuck by myself in the bathroom. I had to wiggle myself up until like the garbage can fell over, and then I was finally able to get out. So again, but it's funny. I can laugh at it now, but like going home to tell my parents, that didn't help, because again, their response was, what on, it's just, we just have to endure, we just have to persevere, and just don't fight back. Again, I couldn't fight back. When you got 30 kids and you're outnumbered, you don't fight back. You just kind of learn to after a while, just kind of learn to take it,
Cole, were your parents supportive with you? Because I know, from my personal experiences, being good at sports, being good at whatever I didn't get a huge support system from my family. It was all about making money.
Using your mind, getting an
So, were your
education.
parents pretty supportive of that? Or?
Come on, man.
Is it,
Oh God.
explain
You know, had I said I wanted to be a martial artist, had I said I wanted to be a soccer player, I think okay, because they've seen it. You know, a bodybuilder from a little underdeveloped third world country as in Laos, they never saw it. There weren't any Asian role models. Like I said, if I wanted to be a martial artist, I had Bruce Lee to look up to. Had I wanted to be a soccer player, I mean, there's tons of national, you know, Laos has a national soccer team. But bodybuilder, no. I I was on my own on that, but you know what? Them saying I couldn't do it drove me, to work harder, proving them wrong. That was my wish. I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know, when kids made fun of me and picked on me and bullied me, you know what? I'll show you one day. That was my attitude. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it was healthy or not, that's what developed me at a very young age, was proving people wrong. You know.
And you definitely proved a lot of people wrong, including myself, with your last competition.
With the first competition back.
Well, the first
Yeah, the
competition
first one
back.
back. It took me a couple of years to finally get it, but.
You want to talk about your titles, though? Well, actually, let's keep going. Let's go back where what you from then on you kind of made a buzz around the bodybuilding world. I mean, you're on ESPN.
I was on ESPN. Back then ESPN had a TV show called American Muscle. They featured top local bodybuilders or guys up and coming national bodybuilders. I was featured on that.
That's when you had that long new wave hair.
New Wave was big back then. I grew up with New Wave, you know. That was another one of my outlets was music. I just love music. You know, music puts you in a mood to. Music took you places. So if I was in a bad place, if I had had a bad day, if I had gotten picked on or made fun of, or just had a bad, music took me away to a different, to a different place.
Yeah.
So music is definitely something that saved me.
Definitely. Well, you know, knowing you personally, though, like it's hard for me to talk in perspective on what I've seen, what you went through. But you kind of went up on an up and down roller coaster, man. I remember when you first came to Wisconsin, and I met you for the first time because our fathers were in the war together. And you came around, and you lived like literally a few miles down the road from me, and you went through not a divorce. I couldn't say you were divorced, but
I was never married. Yeah, but I split up with the mother of my children. That's why I came up to live in Wisconsin, was because my ex at the time, we had a son together. So I came up, I wanted to be, close to my son. I thought, okay, I gotta be a father now. And like I said, I grew up in Elgin, Illinois. Everything was there. Friends, family, bodybuilding, the best gyms. I mean, everything. I was at that time with, Optimum Nutrition, ON, one of the biggest nutritional supplement companies in the world. I was a sponsored athlete. I was in the magazines. My career was like it was if it wasn't going anywhere, it was getting ready to take off. So to find out that that my ex was pregnant, it's kind of like, oh wow. And find out I was gonna be a dad and move away. And in Wisconsin, man, I didn't even live in Milwaukee. Had I moved to Milwaukee, would have been would have been an easier transition. But I moved from a Chicago suburb to a little town, Burlington, Wisconsin, known for producing Tony Romo, though. I mean,
I only claim the fan. And Ko Chandetka
and chocolate, and chocolate fest, and the local Walmart. Yeah, dude. I mean, I lived in a town where like Walmart was like the nearest Walmart was like 10 miles away. I didn't understand it, so that led me to a very, very deep depression. I got very depressed, and everybody was telling me, my parents telling me, you're done. You're done with bodybuilding, and I was so close. I mean, people don't understand. I was so close to turning professional. At that time. It was early 2000, 2003, 2004. I was pretty much, I don't know, the next big thing, right? I mean, the road was paved for me. All I had to do was just walk it, and it was there. So to find out, I was having a son, being a dad, and being a father, and yeah, my family telling me, I mean, you're gonna have to walk away. That was hard. That was hard for me. And there was no gym. I was trying to hold on to as much as I can. I was trying to hold on. There wasn't any gyms in the area. I just couldn't find anybody that had the same interest. I mean, again, this is Wisconsin. It wasn't as big in the fitness industry. Whatever it was 10 years ago wasn't as big as how it is in the Chicago area. Chicago had 24-hour gyms. Anytime you wanted to train, highways. Again, I was in Burlington, which is a very small town, 30 miles southwest of Milwaukee. So.
Yeah, I remember you going through that situation and drinking with my dad. I didn't hang out with you much at the time.
I thought you were a dick, man. Is this guy too good for me? You hang out?
Well, yeah. I don't know what to think. Like, do I hang out with him? Does he hang out with my dad? Ko was quite the introvert back then.
Again, the identity crisis. Who do I hang out with? Yes, I ended up drinking with your dad, drinking moonshine.
Yeah. That was your first impression of Alex, too, huh?
We kept our conversation short. He was nice. He was nice and respectful, but yeah, we just never really did, like I said, I ended up drinking more with his dad, So Alex would go out. He'd always go. That kid was always partying. I don't know what he was doing. He's always going to Madison or something or Milwaukee, and I'm the kind of I like I said I drank. I was drinking a lot, and I don't know if that was due to the depression or what. I don't know what came first, drinking or depression or drinking, but those two hit me hard. Coming home 2, 3 in the morning and then back home.
So you never were much of a drinker prior to?
I drank. I started drinking at an early age when I was a kid, but once I got into bodybuilding and training, I didn't. Just you're training. You're dieting. You didn't really drink. So.
Yeah, then eventually you moved in with us,
But I found out. I have an addictive personality, and that's a thing where everything kind of then whatever I grabbed became an addiction. So maybe I was probably addicted to working out. Looking back. And whatever I grabbed, because I excelled very quickly in bodybuilding, and that had to be an addictive personality. You're going in every day, 2 times a day, eating a certain way, being focused, not knowing that was also a double-edged sword for me.
Yeah, I kind of want to touch base back on the drinking part. Then you moved back in with my family. That's when I think that's when it was really bad. When I really saw it, there was times when I see you literally slam half a bottle of Captain Morgan, and you kind of isolated yourself.
It was Sailor Jerry. I couldn't afford Captain Morgan.
Well, I get a phone call from him like, hey Alex, can I go pick me up a pint and like I didn't know where to draw the line because I don't want to say no, but at the same time like this guy's going through some shit.
Well, fast forward a few years, my son had gotten older, and his mother and I separated, and I left. I had nowhere to go. So, fortunately, your mom took me in, and I was just realizing everything. What was going on? Jesus, this is what my life had become. 3, 4 years prior, here I am. I was the next big thing, an Asian sensation. Who's gonna, and then here I am working I hate to say dead end job, but just working day to day, paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that was a really tough transitional phase for you, for sure. But the craziest thing about that whole situation was, though, I saw the worst of you, but I also seen the best of you when you got yourself out of that depression. I've never seen anyone more focused. I've never seen anyone more dedicated to not just rebound back into bodybuilding, but rebound back from life. I mean, you were pretty fucking bad. And to see you come out of that just with your own will, like that's some inspiring shit that I was fortunate to see and be inspired from. And I think that's a story that a lot of people don't know is like you've gone through a lot of stuff and you really rebounded back.
I tell you, we talk about human nature and things that inspire us and things that motivate us. And coming up in an Asian culture, most Asians are inspired by materialistic things. Nice clothes, nice house, nice car. But I tell you, being down, almost hitting rock bottom, I don't know how much further I could go. I mean, I think the next step was not waking up.
Yeah,
You know,
it was pretty bad.
I wasn't far from that.
Yeah.
And I never was one to I didn't hate my life where I wanted to kill myself. I'm probably a chicken shit, you know. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the job, you know. But I just I didn't care if I woke up or not, though, you know.
Yeah.
But talk about motivation for me was looking into my son's eyes, holding my son in my arms, looking in his eyes. Man, I gotta change. This little boy needs me. That's where things in my life turned around, and I needed to be better. I needed to change, or this little boy is not gonna have a father, you know.
Yeah, well, some people go the other way, and I'm glad you know did the right thing.
Yeah.
Times 10, that was huge. How you then you got back into bodybuilding on top of it, and won some titles where I kind of doubted you. I'm like, hey, do you think you're gonna
You
win?
think you win, man? Yeah, you think you win, man? Cause. Oh man, did that motivate me? That pissed me off, dude. I would have kicked you in the ass when you said that.
It wasn't me like questioning you. I was like, damn, like is he really going forward with this? Like it was more like I was curious. It wasn't like I didn't think you could.
Yeah, and of course, I took it the wrong way, you know. But that motivated me. I worked harder, you know. Again, going back to when I was a kid, proving people wrong. That's where I got a lot of my strength. Proving people wrong. Doubters.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, to touch base on your alcoholism, that's something that you know is it's kind of under the radar in the Laotian community too, where
Therapy.
it is therapy. A lot of people are doing it.
I'm just being joking about that.
Fortunately, you know, a lot of people, you know, go through depression with alcoholism and alcoholism in general, and it's just not Laotians. Why are we different in that sense? Like why is it so predominant in our culture? Is it because we mask it more than other people, where other cultures get help for it, where they can speak to psychologists about it? Like the Laotian community doesn't really do that. Or
I think the Laotian community, I think Laotian people in general, we are the underdogs of the Asian world. I mean, we're not relatively known. We're almost like the sick man of Asia. I mean, that's Laos.
yeah,
The only thing people know about Laos is that it was heavily bombed in the Vietnam War and maybe our opium up north in the mountains, you know?
they don't even know that, like the bombing, like
Yeah.
it's a mysterious land for a reason. That's what it's known for. But yeah, sorry, go keep going.
But I think as an Asian culture, it's definitely a pride issue. Pride.
Yeah.
As men, we don't talk about our pain. That's admitting weakness. I'm hurting today. Oh, well, you're weak then.
Right.
And you know, growing up with my father, I remember when my little nephew died. He got hit by a car. I was 18 years old, and the first time I experienced death, I remember him telling me, giving me a lecture, "You don't cry.
Yeah.
You don't cry. You don't cry."
Is it because if you cry, they
And it wasn't. Oh, let me tell you the story. It wasn't about weakness. It was about in our religion when we cry for the dead, they have a journey from the earth to nirvana, and then if we cry, it causes a storm. Now their journey is through a storm, and it makes it hard for them to get to nirvana. So it wasn't about.
Yeah.
But all I heard was, "Don't cry."
Right.
You know, I didn't listen to what he actually meant about it, but you just don't cry, you don't admit, and not only do you hear it, but I experienced it. Like I said, when I was picked on at school at a young age, and I went home, mom, dad, some kids picked on me, they made fun of me, you know, like, and there's no response. What? Oh, well, no, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
We can't help you. Literally, that's what they were saying. We can't help you because we don't know what to do, because they were experiencing the same thing. And my dad, gosh, I remember one day some guys came over and spray painted my dad's car for work. They said, "Go home, chink." You know, this man got in the car and he drove to work with Go Home Chink on his car. Like, hey, I got to go to work. You know, like, oh my God, I'm not, you know, so most people are like, oh my God, I'm not going to go to work today. You know, we got to cover this stuff. My dad took it like a man. He got in the car. Well, it's just words to him.
Yeah.
He's stubborn. He was tough. He drove it to work.
Yeah.
I can imagine a car driver Go Home Chink. You know, so not only did I experience it, my parents experienced it too. You know, we all experienced it.
I'm laughing at it just because the attitude behind it
Yeah,
is so gangster in a way.
No,
That happened to my driveway where it said "Chief go home."
yeah,
My dad's like, whatever. He shrugged it off and went to work.
exactly. That was my dad. So this feeling of hurt or pain, you don't talk about. You know, and going back, I mean, it's not just depression. You know, it's alcoholism and it's depression. Alcohol is a depressant. So which one is it? Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? Alcohol or depression? Which one comes first? All I know is near the end, I had a heavy dose of both, and man, that was one of the hardest things, the hardest holes to ever have to climb out of. But again, my motivation was my son, staring into his eyes, holding him in my arms, and saying, "I gotta change." And then you have the love that he gave back to me, and his innocence. He was all innocent in what happened between me and his mom. He shouldn't have to suffer for what we went through, for what happened amongst us. I had to be around, and every day got better. Just started training again, just for fun. I had turned 4 years old. I wanted to start working out. I want to look decent, and muscle has memory. Everything just started coming back little by little, and all of a sudden the thought of, I want to step on stage, just for fun, just a goal. I wanted a goal, get back, on stage, see what happened, and I don't know. Next thing you know, I win a national championship, and 3 years later, I achieved my dream that I thought had gone away 10 years ago. That I was told to let go of by my mom and my dad. You let go of this dream; it ain't gonna happen. So it's funny in a way. We keep pushing, we never get, and when we finally step back, it naturally comes to us. So that's what happened in my case.
Being, Laos or Asian in general in the bodybuilding arena, is it, there's pros and cons to it. I'm assuming, like, as far as I'm not downplaying your struggle, and like Asians are supposed to be small and all that stuff, so you have to fight against that whole stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also the chance that you could be the first, and you're treading ways for us. So did that help you as far as your career goes?
Well, I definitely am the first Laotian IFBB professional bodybuilder. IFBB, International Federation of Bodybuilders. I am the first. I never wanted to be the first of anything. I just wanted to be the best. I didn't want to be the best Laotian this, the best Laotian. I wanted to be the best, period. And that meant if I had to go, and here in America is where the best competition is. When you go to the nationals, you are competing against the best in the country. So I didn't. So my expectations of myself, like as I got into training, I started to see my potential, and also to hear feedback from people. When people are if people are putting you in on ESPN and putting you in the magazines, there's something, you have something special. So as I believed in myself, I just want to be the best. I didn't want to prove, because that wasn't enough for me, because I saw that day in, day out in the Laotian community. Well, I got the best car. Well, I got the best house. And that don't mean nothing. That don't mean shit. Yeah. If you want to be the best, then why don't you go out and be the best? Soccer players, they always had like these Laotian soccer tournaments that I saw. If you guys are that good, why don't you try out for the national team? If you're that good. Because you can be good amongst yourself, but until we step out, that's when we had to step out and be different. Because some people are just content with being the best in their community. I don't want to be the best. I didn't want everyone to be the biggest in the gym, the biggest in the school, the biggest in the city, I want to be the best in the country. To compete against the best in the world. That was my goal.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and wait to hear from us back. Signing out, Ko, any last words?
No, thank you for having me here today, man. It's been awesome. I look forward to doing this real soon. So.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Let's do it again. All right, guys, we'll be back.